This is the Photoshop 11-ounce ceramic mug layout template that I've designed to help you create better aligned mugs and to help you easily design new designs and get all your images straight. Photoshop lets you use individual layers so that you don't destroy the main image, and these are indicated by the red tabs. Smart Objects have got these little icons in the corner which also let you easily see which layers you need to be working with. I've added some sample designs from my store onto my desktop to use in this purpose. My store's full of transparent PNGs with commercial use for you to use on your own designs and sell your own printed products, whatever they may be. So first things, we'll go into the top layer, which is this layer up here. To double click the image and it will bring you up with a larger version of the mug wrap. So all we need to do is we need to find our design, drag and drop, and if you're new to Photoshop, if you press Alt on the keyboard you can drag in and it'll size it in proportion, so you know you're getting an even thing. Grab it by the middle and then take it over to the center. So the center pink line will show you that you're dead center, and these little grab handles that are all around will show you that you're in the center horizontally, vertically, sorry. So if you were going to add a name, you can afford to move this design up a little bit, because the box I've designed specifically to give a white top edge and bottom. I've done that because when I was making products 7 years ago, the cheap mug press that I started off with, which was part of a 5-in-1 package, never heated the bottom of the mug properly. So it always, if there was a design at the bottom that went top to bottom, it always ended up with a dodgy half-baked fade, and I didn't like it. I didn't think it was professional, and I didn't want to give that out to my customers. So I always ensured that I left at least 3mm top and bottom for a white edge for my design to be inside that. So this bounding box here will allow you to move it up a little bit more. If I wanted to move it up a bit more, that would still print quite nice, but generally if you keep within the box, it don't matter so much if you go outside the edge on this side, because that's just wrapping around the mug, but you don't want to go out into the middle anywhere. Also, bringing the design up a little bit allows you to put a name at the bottom if you wanted to. So we're going to leave that there. That's a good placement. So press OK on that. Now the easiest way to duplicate this is to grab the layer and bring it down to the plus box at the bottom. So that's duplicated that. You can see there's two up there and they're on top of each other. So all we need to do is make sure we've got the moving tool, grab it across, and the pink lines indicate that we're in line with the design on the other side, and the pink line in the middle indicates that we're dead center. So there's a line there that stops, and you can see there's a little vertical line as well that shows you you're in center. So the vertical line in the middle and the horizontal lines show that that's in line exactly the same as the other one. Before we click save, we need to get rid of this grid that's here, because if we save with that, it's going to print. That is going to be the printed wrap. So we need to hide that so that we've got that. Again, if you put in a name on, your name would be at the bottom. So you click save, and then we go back to the main thing, and you'll see that the design is there. The main grid on this side is here, so when we get ready to print it, we'll be hiding that, so we don't need to worry about that for the minute. So we go into the middle section now, and again we'll do the same. We'll grab our design in, resize it if we want to, bring it into the middle. So we've got the pink horizontal line that shows it's in the middle horizontally, and we've got the little grab boxes here that shows that it's in line vertically. We duplicate again, we bring it down to the plus box in the corner, and then we move it across. Again, looking for those vertical lines the horizontal lines, I mean, to get it in center there. And we click save again. And make sure that's in center. There we go. Click save. Oops, we've got to take the borders off, so we need to take that off, and then we need to click save again. And then we go back, and there they are. And then we'll add the third layer. Again, we'll drag in a design. All the designs that I sell in my store are 99% transparent PNGs, so that you can add things to the background, you can add your own text, you can add things in front of it, add things behind it. So that's in center. Duplicate again down to the little box at the bottom with the plus, and that gives us another one, and then we just drag it across, making sure that it's in center. And there we go. And click save. Oh, hide this again. I keep forgetting. Click save and go back to our main page. So there's all our designs. So all we need to do now before printing is to hide the grid layer, which is gone. You'll see here, let me get this, there's some little marks, and these are your cut marks. This is here. If you don't want them on, you can turn them off. But what that does is, when you've printed your design, you'll be able to quickly snip them with a ruler and a scalpel or whatever, and you've got 3 perfect cut mug wraps. If your printer does not automatically allow you to tick a mirror before printing, I know some Epson printers have that option, where you don't have to worry about whether you've mirrored it or not. You can mirror it in here, and you select all your designs there. It's edit, and it's flip horizontally, and that flips them that way. If you're printing for UV DTFs, you don't need to mirror it, and you also need to get rid of this white background, because that will just print white. So if you're printing any designs for t-shirts, which all these will all scale up to fit a t-shirt, you don't need a white background. But for sublimation printing, it does not make any difference whatsoever. And that's it. Are you ready to go? If you're using Photoshop Elements, you will be able to use this grid, but you won't be able to access the smart objects. So you'll have the grid on screen like that, and you'll just have to drag your designs in like that, resize them exactly the same where you want them to go, and you're working on this layer only, this grid layer. So if we was doing exactly the same again, you bring that across, and then when you're ready to print, you hide that layer exactly the same, and that's just for Photoshop Elements, because it doesn't use smart objects. But if you're using Photoshop, then you will get access to this, to the layers, so that you can turn them off. And what these layers allow you to do as well is, if you go into there, if you go into the layer, you'll be able to group these together, merge them so that it's one solid thing. Then you'll be able to bring in more designs, turn the grid back on so we can see what we're doing. If you lose your design, you can't grab it. If you press Ctrl and T, it will give you the grab handles back, so you can carry on resizing it. So if you've got say you only have a limited amount of designs at the moment, and you're printing all the time, but rather than having to load this template up, add in your designs again, keep resizing them, trying to get them to fit, you don't have to do that. You can just bring these designs in, merge them, and then you've got, you can turn these designs on and off. So if you wanted to print that, you would click save. If you wanted to print that, you click save, and you can have quite a few designs in there, so that when you went back to print, save, when you went back to print, you'd be able to pick from whichever designs you wanted to print on that A4 sheet. So that's the layout template. So before printing, untick that, and on your sheets, just make sure that you've got that grid unticked before you save, and then your grid won't appear anywhere, but your mug designs will be in the center, just like that, and they'll look fabulous.